Welcome to With Honors, the podcast where we take the big ideas from English 10. I'm Madeline. I'm with Halle and Riley. Today, we are talking about Remarkably Bright Creatures. This novel follows an unlikely friendship between a grieving woman and a clever octopus, and how their connection helps uncover long-buried secrets. Plus, we'll also dive into our summer reading assignment and talk about tips and tricks to help.
I'm lucky today to talk to several of my remarkably bright creatures. We have Riley, we have Maddie, and we have Halle, who wanted to come talk to us about our summer read this year. We read Shelby Van Pelt's book, Remarkably Bright Creatures. Maddie, would you care to give us a synopsis of the book, like a short rundown? What was the book about? Your main character's name is Tova, is that right?
Yes. It was more like a book that had like a lot of people who, like, she was more of a person who, she was 7 years old, she was older, so she kind of was like a workaholic, and she ended up losing her husband and losing her son, and she ended up finding out that she befriended a octopus named Marcellus, and she find out later on through the book that she discovered she had a grandchild from her son that nobody knew about named Cameron.
That's right. And Tova's supposed to be of like Scandinavian descent, I think. She's a different personality than some of the other people who are, I feel like, more loud or open, especially that grandson of hers, Cameron. Maddie, what do you want to talk about the book before I ask you some questions?
Mostly, I kind of just want to talk about, like, what do y'all think about the book? Like, what's your favorite thing about it? Who's your favorite character? My favorite character is probably Tova, because she's old and she's funny.
She's old and she's funny. In what ways was she funny for you?
She would just, like, she had smart comments, like, even for the younger kids, she would always say something, or she was always smart whenever, like, people would, like, look down on her, even though she worked all the time. Even though she was 70, she was just, it was just funny.
Yeah. What about you, Halle?
My favorite character is probably the octopus Marcellus. I just like the storyline of him and like how he changes throughout the book.
How does he change? What does he do that changes for you?
Doesn't he start out like, he starts out thinking that he's all that and that people are below him?
Yeah. And then like by the end of the story, he changes. And like him and Tova are now best friends, and he realizes that.
He does have a superior attitude in his way. He looks down. I was going to say he looks down his nose, but he doesn't have a nose. But he looks down his nose at humans. Mm-hmm. Like we are the creatures, and he's so much wiser than we are. Marcellus was your favorite character of the book?
Yeah.
And yours was Tova? Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite character, Riley?
Mine's probably Marcellus, too.
Yeah. Why'd you like him?
He was, like, really sneaky, and I like that.
What did he do that was so sneaky?
He would sneak out of his aquarium at night when no one was watching, and I don't know, try to eat all the food and stuff. Yeah, the Chinese food, I think it was.
Yeah, that's right. Which is so bizarre to me. I wouldn't have thought that they would do that. I have heard that an octopus really can fit through the tiniest of spaces, that they can like squeeze their body together like a sponge and move in and out. Isn't Marcellus the first voice that we hear from in the book? I think he's like the very first page that you hear from too. Mm-hmm. I liked his voice at the very beginning. I thought, oh, this sounds like Coach Hasten and I always talk about who we would cast in movies. He sounds like the guy that plays Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings. Like I could imagine him saying something like, "These remarkably bright creatures who are watching." Like I just pictured he was supposed to be an old man voice. Who would you pick for Tova if you had to cast somebody? Can you think of an actress who would be a really good Tova?
It had to be somebody like really calm demeanored, but also like has a little spice to him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know who it would be though.
I can't think of any old people that are...
Because I have a bit about that. What about Cameron? Who would you have picked for Cameron? See, I don't know young people. I picture him as a blonde, kind of like...
In my head, I always picture him as Coach D.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like Coach D.
Okay, why?
I don't know. He just seems like him, kind of.
Yeah.
Like the young person.
He's definitely young, yeah. Halle, did you ever have like an image of Cameron in mind?
I thought he would have like blonde hair too.
Yeah. This is a very mature TV show, so you've never watched it because you all are good kids, right? Breaking Bad, the guy that plays Jesse Pinkman in there, I kind of pictured him being something like Cameron. I know that they're making a movie of it, or they're making a TV series out of it, and Sally Field is supposed to be Tova. Maddie, go back to the book. What are some big things that you took away from the book that you thought, one thing I definitely want to talk about is...
Probably the takeaway from it where she talks that, or Marcellus talks about where he sees people from a different point of view. It's not always just one way. He changes throughout the book, realizes that people are not always as you seem.
Yeah. Why do people change for Marcellus?
I guess he realizes that he's not as invincible as he thinks he is, and he's about to, I mean, octopuses have a short lifespan, so they have a short life, so they have to like live it to the fullest, and we have a longer life.
He literally starts the book talking about that, right? Telling you that he's only got so many days left.
Yeah, he counts his like days down.
There's a website, or there used to be a website. This is going to get really morbid. There was a website called thedeathclock.com. I don't know that it's still a thing. Don't go look at it because we're going to be in a happy mood. But you could type in your birth date and it would gauge average lifespan and say, based on this, you will probably die, and then give you a date. And it would be counting down the minutes and the seconds of that. That was a really gruesome, like morbid thing for me to see. And to also think, I only get that many more years left? That was weird. I have a hard time reading this book and not siding with Marcellus because now I'm in, 45. And I saw a thing the other day that said, by the time you're in your 40s, you only have like 33 years left. And that hurt to think that, because we all the time say 50 is middle age. But really, if the average person's lifespan is 78 or so, middle age for me was back around late 30s, early 40s. That's in the past now. So I do see it from Marcellus's point of view. Halle, what stands out for you as a big picture takeaway thing you want to talk about the book?
Probably just like how close they got, and then like at the end, Marcellus went back to like the ocean, and like I don't know, it just made me sad. Like
sad.
At the end of the book. Like I'm
Right.
glad that he got out, but then their like friendship.
Yeah. But aren't there some things gained by the end of it? What do we gain?
Well, they gain a friendship.
Does he gain a life?
Yeah, I think so.
Because he gets to return to the sea.
Yeah.
Tova loses out on a friendship with Marcellus, but she gains
Her grandson.
a whole new attachment. And isn't there a new octopus at the very end?
It was a girl. Her name was like, I don't know, like I feel like it was like Beatrice or Bedford.
That's
or
right.
something.
Yeah. So there's a new one to replace. Our stories tend to be cycles. Our lives tend to be cycles, and circles come back around. At the very end of this school year, I'm going to be losing out on you. And I've been lucky to have you all for an entire calendar year, but then you're going to go on to somebody else. And then I'm going to inherit some new octopus kid come in here. Riley, for you, what do you think is a big picture takeaway that you want to talk about with the book?
It's not really like a takeaway, but I like the mystery part of the book. Like that's always been like my favorite genre, and I really like how it's like a sense of mystery throughout the book.
Yeah, what mystery unfolds for us in this book?
Like what happened to her son and like the Cameron and all that.
I was really confused by what happened to her son at the very first.
Yeah, I wish it would have like told us more of what had happened to him.
Yeah. But don't you think also like Tova wishes the world had told her more about what happened to her son? Her son's name was
Eric.
Eric, that's right. And at first I was thinking he was a little boy, and then I thought, oh, he was older and everything. Were there any surprises or twists or anything for you that you were like, that I appreciated?
I mean, I feel like I had the whole book figured out on the first page, or
Did you
close
really?
to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really feel like it was really predictable.
What about you, Maddie? Predictable or not?
I think it was predictable, but the part that I didn't see coming was where Cameron, like, he knew, but he also, like, didn't know what happened to his father because he didn't think that anything would happen. I didn't expect him to go to the best friend or him to actually fall in love with somebody that also had a 14-year-old that was in the same situation.
And I really liked her and that dynamic. I liked that he found somebody solid who accepted him What about you? Was this predictable or
I didn't think so.
no? Why?
No, because at the beginning of the book, I was just confused because it kept going back and forth between different people and then like counting down the days. But then towards like the middle, it was pretty predictable.
What mysteries are you really into? You like mysteries and thrillers?
Yeah, I don't know. When I was little, I read like all the A to Z mysteries books. Yeah, I love those books.
Oh, that's a great recommendation too. Do you ever watch mysteries, like movies or anything?
Yeah, I watched this one. I don't remember what it was called. I think it was like Murder Mystery. I like that movie.
That's cool. Have you seen Knives Out? Mm-hmm. Was it good? Like 1 to 10, how good?
7.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, it was
but I
good.
thought I would like it.
Yeah, it was good.
So we just had the major awards. We just had the Oscars, right? Just the other night. And one of the big movies they were talking about was called Conclave, about the death of the Pope and was it a murder or what was it? Conclave has been getting some real good reviews, but it's a mystery too. I really like palace intrigue. I like when the rich and powerful are like, ooh, scheming against each other, kind of like Julius Caesar. Was there any twists for you that you didn't see coming that,
Yeah, probably Cameron being her grandson.
yeah,
Like, I did not see that coming.
I will admit I got duped. I know that I felt predictable at first, but I was so mad at Cameron for being such a whiny butt that I was like, come on, this guy, leave this guy alone. And then I thought there's got to be a connection, but I just didn't see that part. It was right in front of me and I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was really predictable.
Yeah. I was surprised that the woman who Cameron ends up with was talking about the woman at the pier that she saved her life. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I just thought that was just like an extra side story, only to come to find out
It was
that
his
was
mom.
Eric's
Yeah, that's
girlfriend and
his mom.
Cameron's mom. And boy, that kind of did get me.
Yeah.
I was surprised by that. What else do you want to talk about the book?
I guess ask your question. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Miss Solons recommended that I use this. Miss Solons loved this book, and she said this would be a great read for honors kids during the summer. 1 to 5, 5 being the best. This is a good read score. 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the weakest. What grade are you going to give it, Riley?
I would say 4.
You're a 4,
Yeah.
Maddie?
I'm a 3. I like books, so I mean, I have a lot to go off of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say 4 too.
Why? Why are you a 4?
I just really liked it. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to read books and like get engaged, but this one kept me engaged.
And it's not that difficult to read, right? This
No.
was pretty easy.
I feel like it was easy to follow along with.
Yeah.
Summertime is too hot for some of the denser books, right? We can save those for the school year. So I did appreciate this being an easier one. Coach Haston uses a 20-point scale. He doesn't like decimal points. So Riley, if you were a 4 on a 20-point scale, what do you think you would give it?
15.
Ooh, so still really high. That's a high 4. You?
More like a 12.
Yeah, that's down around a 3. You?
I don't know. Probably like a 16, 17.
Holy cow, that's really high 4, low 5. Okay. So would you recommend this to be next year's summer read? You think the upcoming kids should read this in the summer, or should I pick something different?
I liked it. I think they would like it too.
Yeah?
I think they'd like it. It's good. It's a good starter.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah. Or do you have a better recommendation of something I should pick? You read a lot.
Probably nothing school appropriate.
Man, what a good quote. Have you ever read Where the Crawdads Sing?
Yes, I have. It was a good book.
What about it?
I kind of liked that it was still mysterious and that it was easy to follow along with, but you also had to like think about it, and it was something that you also had to be able to interpret and read to understand the storyline.
Okay. If I had to do this over again, would you rather that I've used Crawdads or Remarkably Bright?
Remarkably Bright Creatures.
Still
I liked
that
it better.
one? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's talk a minute about the summer reading assignment, because honors kids always have a summer reading assignment. They don't just read the book. I want them to do something with it. Riley, why don't you talk to us about that? What was this year's summer reading assignment? What were you expected to do?
We had to make a journal, and we had to do 25 entries, and we had like a list of things to do as we went through the book. There was like journal entries and like maps that you could draw and stuff like that. And I feel like I waited till the last minute to do it, And like I didn't make notes as I went throughout the book, so I like forgot everything, and I had to like go back and look, and it was really hard.
Okay, I see that. What about you?
I did mine at the end too. I'm a procrastinator really bad. And I was also reading other books. So, like, when I finally caught up to that book, because I had, like, a list, and I should have highlighted it and stuff with the other book, but I'm just not a person who highlights. So I memorize where pages are. I can, like, remember, like, an estimated where it's at and, like, picture it in my head.
That's cool.
That's, like, a way it's easier for me to read.
Okay. Halle, what'd you think about it?
Yeah, I waited till the last minute, and I should have done it before and like highlight stuff because I was cramming everything in. But I did it on audio, and that like really helped me understand it. And it was like 30 minutes, like it was like divided up, so that helped too.
Yeah, I think if we have resources like that and kids don't use them in addition to, I think we're missing a boat, right? We're missing a great opportunity. Did you listen to any of it or just stick with the book?
No, I just read the book.
Yeah. What about you?
I read the book.
And just stuck with that. Would you have done anything differently if you were the teacher? Would you have done differently with the assignment?
I don't think so. I feel like 25, I thought it was going to be bad, but I feel like it was pretty easy because there was like a bunch of things, different options and stuff to do. So I think it was pretty easy.
Did it feel overwhelming ever?
Sometimes, but I feel like if I would have started a little earlier, I wouldn't have felt that overwhelming.
Yeah, I think if I would have broke it up a little bit more than I did, because I read fast, so I didn't expect it to be that long. Mm-hmm. So it took me a while to break it up.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, but the nice part was like we didn't have to write every single like 25 pages. Like we could do maps and pictures and like diagrams and stuff.
Yeah. Have you ever seen those Wreck This Journal or something like that where you get to draw in it and everything's got a different task or something like that? I wanted it to be like that, where one page you destroy it or one page you create a mirror or something like that. I used to assign the summer reading assignment as just dialectical journal, where it was like, all right, 30 entries, just writing your page response. And while that may be academic, I also feel like it's boring. I hate doing it. So I wanted to give you all some creativity with it. What tips would you give this year's freshman? Hey, he's going to make you do this. Instead, what would you tell them to do?
Start earlier.
Yeah.
Also, probably while you're reading the book, probably multitask and do the journal at the same time. Not just read and then do the journal, do them both at the same time.
Okay. Like keep it on a schedule, and as you read, do this.
Yeah, and if you're slow, like if you don't like reading or if you don't like books, like set it up in like a time period. Like I read this many pages this week and I do this many journal entries this week.
Yeah.
So you're not like cramming like we did.
Pretty much the same things, just, you know, make notes through, like do sticky notes, highlight a ton because you're going to use them in your journal.
Oh, yeah. What would you tell these next year kids? Do you know anybody in this freshman class who's coming up?
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
What would you tell them?
I feel like it's good to like talk with other people about it because sometimes they like understand things different than you do, and sometimes it can like open your eyes and make you realize what it's really about.
Yes. Did you all have a group chat or anything while you were reading this summer or anything?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Good. I really think doing this in isolation is not as great as doing it with other people and being able to talk and share ideas and stuff. Well, you also have on here, what has been your favorite book in this class so far, Halle?
Remarkably Bright Creatures.
Still going to go back with that.
Yeah.
Why is it better than anything else you've read?
It's more interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
We've read a crazy amount of things so far, though, and we're still not even done.
I just feel like I can follow this book more, like, and understand it better.
It probably is the most recent thing that's been published that we've read. Mm-hmm. Everything else is older so far.
Yeah.
Have you started reading Gatsby yet?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Because I'll be interested to know what y'all think about Gatsby when we get to it. What's been your favorite thing to read so far?
Probably Remarkably Bright Creatures, too. Even though it's on a low scale, I think it is because
Really?
Caesar's okay right now, but I don't like the old stuff. I prefer it to be now.
Okay. Have you started Gatsby yet?
I started a little bit on it, but then it got really confusing, so I needed to read it all at one time. So it was like I had a hard time tracking it.
That's another thing I wanted to say is it better to wait till later in the summer to do your summer reading because you'll be closer to class starting and it'll be fresher on your head? Or is it better to start sooner in summer break and just pace it out, because then you get to not do so much all at one time? What do you think would be better?
I feel like it depends on the person. Like, I would probably do better with I'd rather start at the beginning and then go back and look at my journal, because I did the journal for a reason. So that's what I would have done. And then if you're more of a person that likes to break it up and is not good at reading or likes doing anything like that, then yeah.
Riley, what has been your favorite thing to read this year so far?
I really liked Remarkably Bright Creatures, but I also liked The Hobbit because I listened to it on audio and it like gave me like a bunch of like sound effects and stuff, and it made it really entertaining.
I love that. All right, Halle, for you, 1 to 5, The Hobbit.
Probably a 3.
Oh, okay. That's more generous than I thought. You?
2.5.
Wow. Why did you really not like Hobbit, though?
The characters, there was too many, and I was trying, like, in my head I have to picture them. So when I was trying to picture them, all I saw was big, fat, short people.
Yeah. Riley, do you think I should keep Hobbit for next year, or should I change it up?
I liked it. I think you should keep it.
I like Hobbit because it's around Christmas time and Thanksgiving time, and we get to do Christmas in here with it. But if there's something that you think, oh, no, this would be better for Christmas time. Halle, what's your least favorite thing that we've read this year?
Probably Fahrenheit 451.
Whoa, I have to leave the table and just go pitch a fit right now. Fahrenheit?
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like it that much.
Oh, why?
It was a short book, which was good. But it was just really hard for me to understand.
Oh, okay. You, what's been your least favorite thing?
Fahrenheit 451.
Also, Riley?
Yeah.
All three of you? The council agrees. Wow. Give me one good reason why you don't like it.
It was made up too much.
What does that even mean?
Like,
it's all fiction.
It was, yeah, but like it was so unrealistic. I couldn't like compare myself to it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
And you?
I was so confused. I had no idea what was happening.
Your teacher gets angry about the world that he lives in a lot. And Coach Haston and I have talked about other dystopias. I always used to think Fahrenheit is the one that really started coming true. Just because I feel like all the time we're giving up books in favor of TikTok. We're giving up books in favor of, swiping through reels and stuff like that. I love my video games. I love movies. But I feel like a lot of my classes anymore don't even watch movies. That our attention span's going away. You read a lot, but a lot of my students don't read a lot. And we even have governments like local education authorities or places like Knoxville who say public schools cannot have these books. And I'm just offended by not having that creativity, not having that freedom to be able to read whatever it is you want to read. So I hate looking at society impinging on wonderful young minds and opportunity like you. That's why I feel like Fahrenheit is preaching to my heart. Maybe I should just, redo it somehow with you all. Is there any way I could have made it better with you?
I don't think so. I just like the way they talked in it, I could not understand. Like I could just not wrap my brain around what they were saying.
I like the projects that we done on it. Like the
Yeah.
poster, that was fun.
Well, you guys are remarkably bright creatures, and it has been a treat to be able to talk to you today.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of With Honors. Hopefully our chat made you see Remarkably Bright Creatures in a new way, or at least got you thinking a little differently about it. Maybe you have even picked up something new about Honors English 10. Huge shout out to my co-hosts Madeline and Riley for their awesome insights. And of course, a big thanks to you for hanging out with us. See you next time.